Hello everyone, Trisha, it's me, Jenny. It's time for another not naked video response to Shush Play a Serious Naked Truth, where we talk as candidly and as truthfully as possible about a subject of her choosing, straight out the shower, no makeup, no hair, first take, one take, so on and so forth. You guys bloody well know the drill by now. I'm back in my old Naked Truth spot with the poster that I always want to show off because I always thought it would be great for Naked Truths because it's great and it's colourful and it has lots of like interesting life mantras. But due to the angle of my bed, it's never featured. It predominantly get like the top, like the bottom part of the top of the frame. But yeah, I'm back home. Naked Truth, back in front of the old Naked Truth corner. Way! And I'm doing YouTube Naked Truth catch-up-sies. So my hair is going to slowly get drier over the course of the next couple of videos, and I'm wearing a cardigan because my bedroom's cold, even though my face is warm because I'm just out the shower. So I don't want to lose all that lovely shower heat. Anywho, enough rambles aside, I'm off to yep, back in the Naked Truth corner, back in the Naked Truth ramble. Hi guys. So catch up, Naked Truth catch up number 3, I believe. So yeah, this one's on YouTube is different now, which is a very, very complicated subject, and I think Trisha talked for 42 is the answer to life, universe and everything. 42 minutes worth of conversation on this with her audience when she discussed it. And I recently just had my YouTubeversary. It's my last video that I posted on this channel. My YouTubeversary is on Christmas because that was the first video I ever posted that it's public. There are technically 2 other videos before that, one of which is a video response to Easy Waiter, and one of which was a video of me and my sister jumping in the ocean, which I don't really count as YouTube proper because it was before I really intended to become a YouTuber. It was just to share the ridiculousness of that moment. So I count it as a video response I did to the Lizzie Bennet Diaries 6 years ago on Christmas Day, and that is what I count as my YouTubeversary. Also, it's easy to remember. So I've been on YouTube over 6 years as of right now. 6 years and 4 days. And YouTube has changed. When it comes to the primary discussion of Trisha's video was YouTube and money, and when it comes to YouTube and money, I have a slightly different perspective about that than she does because I'm not basing my career off YouTube. I've in fact never been paid for YouTube. I've been on YouTube for 6 years. Let me have a quick look. I have, let's see, how can I work out how many videos I have? I have many videos. Let's see. I should have prepped this up in advance. Smart. I have 6 years of YouTube, 540-ish subscribers, and I would have to load up my YouTube studio, bear with me, to see how many YouTube videos I have, but I think it's in the 900s. And I have never been paid for any of that, ever. But it comes down to the fact that I have only 500 subscribers, which is not an only. I love the fact that I have a very small, very dedicated audience, and 500, when you think about that many people in a room, it's more than I'd ever like to have in my house. So I consider that a freaking win if I can't fit it in my house or in my garden, or I'd be very uncomfortable going to a social gathering where that is the number of guests, or I'd feel uncomfortable talking in front of that many people. I call that a complete and utter win. But when it comes to actual audience size that's able to get you any money, I've never had that. I don't think I ever will have that. I have, let me see if I can get a list of the number of videos I have. Loading. But let's go with the most viewed video I have on my channel is 4,000 views. Followed by 4,000 views for the second, and followed sharply by 2,500 views. The most viewed on my channel is that, which is not ever going to be enough to make money from. And so my perspective on going into YouTube, my perspective after 6 years is pretty much the same, which is this is a hobby, it's a way of making friends, it's a way of connecting, it's a way of doing like a kind of diary format for myself and kind of keeping track of my life. And it's weird, looking back at the beginning of last year when I had long hair and I was living at home and I still couldn't drive, and all of the stuff that's changed in the last year, and watching Tour's daily vlogs for the whole year, and seeing like, especially when I was in Canada, seeing like the difference between the person I was at the beginning of 2018 versus the person I am coming into 2019 is so weird. It's such a different person, and I didn't realise it was happening, so it's nice to have the video records to look back on, and for when I initially started, it was to challenge myself to do something scary every single day, which sounds like the dumbest thing in the world, because the scary thing that I had to do was watch movies I'd never watched before. But I did have a serious kind of anxiety about watching new content that my sisters would discuss for time after time. But yeah, I was really scared to watch movies I hadn't seen before, which is a horrible way to live your life in a very small kind of, you know, it's a very easy thing to break out of, but I needed that incentive to do, and I did, and I watch movies now, and I don't get anxiety about watching new movies, which is great, apart from horror movies. And so I feel like I've progressed as a person because of YouTube. There's a lot of things that I think perhaps if I didn't have YouTube in my life, I would be more productive in other ways. But overall, like the way that I have developed through being on YouTube has been what I wanted. And I think maybe the first video when me and my sisters were me in the sea, I maybe wanted to get money from that. I wanted to be like, woo, be a meme. Never gonna happen. It just wasn't that exciting. And so when it comes to the financial changes, I don't know anything about them because I've never made a single pence out of YouTube ever. When it comes to my perspective after 6 years on YouTube, and my knowledge of the YouTube space in general, I feel like it used to be a place where people who couldn't afford to pay a producer could self-produce. People who were talented and hardworking and dedicated, who wanted to put their voice out into the world but didn't have a means to, whether because of a location or because of finances, could then have that step up, and talented hardworking people will find a way, and YouTube is that way for talented hardworking people. I feel like now it's a lot easier if you have kind of old media perspectives into coming into the YouTube space. If you have the producer's aspect to how to produce yourself, you come in with you know, a nicely digestible personality and a look and a style and consistency and things that have been slowly learnt by the people who pioneered it. But now you can come into it with kind of almost like a polished version of what it took people who were the pioneers years to come across, which you can then kind of plug in. I don't know, I'm rambling. I feel like in order to be successful on YouTube, you need to be talented, you need to be hardworking, you need to have that production value, which is something that not a lot of people can do, and you kind of need to have a step up somewhere, whether or not it's someone who's already in the space or whether or not there's a meme or old media that gets you into new media, rather than what it was before was people from the ground up proving again and again that they were talented and hardworking and interesting. When it comes to making money, when it comes to YouTube itself, again, as I said, it has changed. You can't make it alone financially from YouTube. Not even the highest ranking creators can make it on their own solely through YouTube. Diversifying through crowdfunding, through you know, fan funding, through any sort of items of purchase. Wow, I completely forgot how to use words there. That was very smooth. Any sort of merchandise sales. It is possible to make a living off YouTube, but in a way it's kind of like any form of classical art now, or classical, traditional, creative things, in that however glossy they look on the surface and however calm people look on the surface, there is so much work done behind the scenes. In order to be in a creative field, you've got to be passionate, you've got to be talented, and you've got to be hardworking more than anything else. And you've got to be lucky. And, you know, in order to maintain anything in a creative industry, you have to have luck and you have to be so hardworking. And I don't have that. It's the reason why I always said I'd never be an actress, is because in order to be in that field, you have to be that level of passionate and that level of dedicated, and I have other things in my life that I need to worry about. And there we go, round and round the story goes. YouTube has changed over the last 6 years. It's been interesting to see from kind of an inside-outside perspective, as someone who's in the space but outside of any level of payment and ever will be paid. It's interesting to see how video length has changed and video content has changed, going from, you know, way back when it was like a 3-minute video, ugh, who would watch that, to, you know, podcasts and streaming and live conversations with audiences and that sort of thing, which is just fascinating to see develop. And I think things will change as they go, and at the moment it's YouTube. But in general, diversifying your brand, which is a horror, like that makes me feel really uncomfortable saying that out loud, is the way to go if you want to be financially stable. And working hard. It's going to take a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time in order to make money. But yeah, I have no idea if I said anything useful, so we're back on Naked Truth form. I will see you guys all in a few minutes, or in another couple of hours because of upload time, for my next Naked Truth catch up. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment. I'll see you guys all very soon. Bye 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 bye.